All right. So, on Schoology. On Schoology, you have the second quiz that should be up. Loud. Loud, remember. Come on, baby. So, quiz 2. CP Algebra 2. So I'll get out of there. I don't need that. So if you go through on the Schoology, make sure that quiz 2, the quiz 2 is due Friday at 11:59 at night. Okay, so get it done. There's 3 or 4 questions. 3 or 4. There's one that's a big old matching one. Yeah, it's a big matching one. So, so get it done. Work with each other. Get help on it. Whatever. You know, those are quizzes that are going into the quiz category. For those of you that are getting 2 out of 10s on it, it's not good. So the first one was just a practice, which gave you the bonus. This one is now counting for against you. So make sure you get it done, and we will take care of things. So last time we had class, I think I had assigned you number 5. Is that right? Yeah. Okay. And number 5, the nice thing about number 5 is I had gone over a lecture, and then you had to do one that was putting them all back together. It wasn't factoring anything apart, right? So let's just take a look at 1, 2, 3, and 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4 on page 5. And was there any that you needed me to go over or talk about on 1, 2, 3, and 4? Do 7. All of them? All right, pick one of them. I'll go over it. Well, they're all done the same way, and I think you're being ridiculous if you're asking for all 4. 3? Thank you. All right. All righty, so problem number 3. So we're going to combine like terms. What we have to do first is we have to drop our parentheses, yes? So can I drop the parentheses on this first one without changing any signs? Yes. Absolutely. Okay, so 4x squared minus 2x. What about on this other one? What do I have to do with this negative? It has to distribute to all of those before you drop. So then you get negative x squared plus 2x and then plus 5. Yes? Yes. Okay, now we have some like terms. Remember, a like term is a term that has the same letter as well as the same exponent. So 4x squared minus x squared is 3x squared. The reason that is there's a 1x there. Looks like this and this are going to cancel each other out. And so what am I left with?
3x
squared plus 5. Good. Done. Yo.
You do number 16.
Okay, you're already jumping down on us. All right. So jump down to number 16. Can I clear this? All right. Clear and ink. Number 16. Very last one. Let's take a look. So I got 3x squared, and then x minus 2, and then I get minus x squared plus 4x. Minus 6. Very first one, can I drop the parentheses or do I have to do something first? I have to distribute 3x squared first. So this comes here and here. So that gives me 3x to the third minus 6x squared. Can I drop the parentheses on the second one? No, what do I have to do before I drop the parentheses? Distribute the negative 1 to all 3 of those terms. That okay? All right, so 3x to the third has nothing else to go with it. Taken care of. Like term here, like term here. What do we got? Did you bring the noisiest food available in? And then I have this by itself. And this by itself. It's in descending order, so it's in standard form. What other problems did we come across on the homework? Yeah. No, you can't. Well, because they have different exponents, you can't start combining things together. Is that okay? Other questions from the whole worksheet? So we took care of 3 and we took care of 16. Go ahead, Casey. Number 6. Okay, so this x goes here and here, so I get x squared minus 6x. This 8 goes here and here, so I get plus 8x minus 8 times 6 is 48. Like terms are those. Cool. 11. Number 11, I squeeze right here. X minus 6, x plus 6. So multiply the x here and here. Multiply here and here. Combine like terms. This is one of those that's called the difference of 2 squares because our middle term drops out. Other questions from the homework? Yeah. 10 and 15. Number 10. Carrie, are you talking too much? Okay, I didn't think so. I know it's George's fault. Yeah. Must be Democrat and blaming somebody else. Okay. Problem number 10. I have negative 3x is a monomial, 4x is a monomial, so I'm going to multiply those two together first. So I'm going to get negative 12x squared, and then I'm going to bring that down. Is that okay so far? From there, I'm going to distribute the negative 12x squared here and here, so I'm going to get negative 24x to the third plus 60x squared, and that's done. Is that okay? For 15, I'm going to distribute the x to all 3 terms first. So I'm going to get x to the third minus 5x squared plus 25x. And then I'm going to distribute the 5, so I get plus 5x squared minus 25x plus 125. Party at the trash can? Dude, we'll meet you at the trash can. And then I'm going to combine like terms. Hang on. So I get x to the third. That and that cancel out. That and that cancel each other out. So I get x to the third plus 125. Yeah.
So you're just
tripping out, man.
Yeah.
I'm tripping out.
Everyone, you okay? You're sick? You're gone.
I'm so.
Any more we got to go over? We good? Check. Giddy up.
Yeah.
Preston.
So for number 5.
Number 5. Okay. So number 5, without writing it up on the board, I'm going to get 6x to the 7th minus 3x to the 4th plus, or 3x to the 5th, excuse me, plus 3x to the 4th. Is that the answer says in the back?
No, it says
12?
12x7 minus 3x5 plus 3x4.
I think they just made an error. Yeah. Trusting us teachers to write the right answer. How dare us? All right, we good? Happy? Sad? Indifferent? All right, so guys and girls, a little bit. I'm going to get you guys a note sheet here. Are these note sheets okay that I'm giving y'all?
Yeah.
I mean, everyone losing sleep. He's like, man, he's giving us another one. Sorry. One of these days. So, let's see. Today, I was supposed to have a meeting at the Manor, but the Manor had to cancel with me. So I'll be in my office, I think, for the most part, right after this class for the rest of the day. Manor. It's a. It's one of our schools that if you were kind of a juvenile, got arrested, you're on probation, you probably don't hear from So I'll be in my office for most parts all day today. Tomorrow, I will be. I don't think I have any. Tomorrow's Thursday, right? Sweet. Tomorrow's already Thursday. I love the having the Tuesday snow days. So tomorrow I don't think I have any meetings, and then Friday I have a lunchtime meeting, and then I have a meeting. My meeting got rescheduled at the Manor, so I'll have to go out there.
Like I say,
Manor. There's the Manor, the estate, and the asylum. No, it's not the asylum. Manor, estate, and then ranch or something. I don't know. Yeah, you walk in there, I'll tell you what. There's you got some kids there. I mean, they're basically able to go to school and then go home. They're on home arrest for being bad kids. Well, the Manor is over. You take Quincy out, not Quincy and Chambers roughly behind that Target.
I have a question that's related
To this school?
No, to
Schools in general. Okay.
what's the type of school called where it's like it's not that they're on probation, it's that but it's that like they're not in June, but they got in trouble, and then they're sent there. What is that?
For this district, Manor and State, and there's one other I can't remember.
No, I'm
Those are public schools as well, as far as this district. I don't know if they call it the rest of the state, but we offer the opportunity for kids that are dangerous offenders not to be in the school. They would go to the alternative price rather than homeschool. I'm sorry, I don't know. Alternative school. Cool. What? All right. All right. So, I goofed up. I moved that one over. Maybe I moved that one over so there's more room. I don't know. Find the product. So that means we're distributing, right?
Yeah.
And so sometimes we can distribute one term. Sometimes we can distribute multiple terms. But on the very first one, we distribute. We get this here and this here. That gives me, 12x. Oh, now we're moving stuff around. 12x squared.
Oh, wow.
Oh, look at this neat stuff that's taking place. Minus 21. Because x times x. And then that's 21x, right?
Yeah.
All right. Second problem. If I multiply, let's do this. We go to our cards. Haven't done these in a while. Back, you're the first one up. But that goes to the back, right? All right, Mackenzie. If I multiply 2x to the third times 4x, what do I get? 8x to the fourth, love it. 8x minus 6x to the third. I love it. Good job. All right. TJ.
Yes.
That third problem, and for some reason my things are moving over now. I don't know why, but I think we can accommodate. I'm going to multiply 9x squared just times the first term, or do I multiply it times the other terms? Others, okay. So what is 9x squared times 4x to the third?
36x.
36x to the fifth. I like it. And what is 9x squared times 2x squared? 18x to the fourth. Good. And then what is 9x squared times 4x?
36x to the third.
Good. 36x to the third. And then what is 9x squared times 2?
18x.
18x squared. Okay? So that's the first part where you're just distributing a monomial, a single term, and a single term can have x's attached to it, something like that, over the parentheses. But then we're going to go backwards from this. We're going to undo it. And so the next couple of problems is we're going to look for the greatest common factor that we can factor out. And you might remember a little bit from Monday. Perhaps the snow got in your way of learning. I don't know. But on Monday, we started doing the greatest common factor, which was we're looking for a common result that we can factor out. And sometimes it could be a number, sometimes it could be a letter, and sometimes it could be both. Right? Yeah. Alrighty. Can I erase this so far? Do whatever you want, dude. Oh, good, everything's moving back into place now. I gotta stop doing stuff in Word. Don't dare me. That one doesn't want to move. All right, so the directions say now let's undo the product and factor out the greatest common factor. This will lead us to factor out binomials. This will lead us to factor out binomials. That's what we'll eventually get to. So, Stephen, if I were to can I break 7 down any more than 7? It's just 7, right? It's sometimes 1 that's the furthest. Okay, so this one I could break down to 7, and then an x. Can I break 14 down? What times what? 7 and 2. Is that okay? Okay, now Stephen, taking a look at that, I have a 7x and I have plus 7, 2. Do I have a common term between the two of them right now I can factor it? A 7, absolutely. So if I factor a 7 out, and I'm going to put parentheses, if I factor a 7 out of 7x, that leaves me an x. Do you agree with that? If I that plus needs to come along. If I factor 7 out of 7 and 2, what do I have left? 2. So that's just taking out a greatest common factor right there. Okay, that's as far as you can go. You're undoing the distributive property. All right, Preston, taking a look at the second problem, I have 12. So let's break 12 down into its prime parts. So 12 is the same thing as what times what? 6 times 2. I can't break 2 down any further, but can 6 break down? What does 6 break down to? 3 times 2. So that means that 12 is the same thing as 2 times 2 times 3. Let's make sure that's right. 2 times 2 is 4, times 3 is 12. And then x to the third, break that down into its little parts. Good, x times x times x. Okay, and that plus needs to come along for the ride. Can I break 7 down any further? No, and then the x comes along as well. Okay, so Preston, looking up there, do I have any numeric values I could factor out, like 2 or 3 can be factored out, or no? No, what can be factored out though? An x. Now, Preston, if I factor an x out, what does it look like I have left that didn't factor out? Which was how much? 12. And then how many x's do I have left? 2 of them, so x times x is what? X squared. And that plus, again, has to come along to the right. So if I factor an x out of 7x, what do I have left? 7, okay? So between the two, on the first one I was able to factor just a number out. On the second one I was able to factor just a letter out. Okay? I bet you the third one we'll be able to factor a number and a letter out. So Bo, let's break down 4. How can I break down 4? 2 times 2. And, oops, I don't want that. 2 times 2. And how do I break down x to the third? There you go, x times x times x. And the plus needs to come along for the ride. How would I break 8 down? 2 times 2 times 2 is 2 times 4, and 4 is the same thing as 2 times 2. So I have 2 times 2. And then how do I break x squared down? X times x. Okay? So, Garvey, give me something in common between our 2 strands of events up there. A 2. So I have a 2 and a 2. Christian, give me something else other than the first 2 and 2 that we have in common up there. The second 2, okay. Casey, give me something else that we have in common up there. An x. Gabe, give me something else we have in common up there. Second x, I like it. Cool. All right, Ben. Looks like I have a 2 and a 2, a 2 and a 2, an x and an x, and an x and an x. Do you agree with that?
Yes.
So what's 2 times 2?
4.
What is x times x?
X to the second.
X to the second. Okay, that's what my greatest common factor out of both those terms are. Then, on this first one, what do I have left over?
Yeah, with 1 x.
I have a 1x, which is the same thing as a x. Good. The plus needs to come along for the right. What do I have left on the second one?
Just 2.
Just a 2. Done. I factored out my greatest common factor on it. Okay? Quick question. If everything factored out, what do I leave as a placeholder? Not 0. Not x.
Wait, what'd you say?
1. So if everything factors out, so if this one didn't have, if this didn't have this 2 here, if everything had factored out, you have to leave 1 as a placeholder. So inside it would have been x plus 1. You feel okay with those so far? Can I clear those off, erase them?
Yeah.
Is that all right? You guys following along? Are my notes similar? I know that yours, when you write, you aren't shifting to the left. But if I could get that magical paper, I would do that for you. But for some odd reason, it's just not working on those papers the way I want it to. Hey, do you guys like some of these new magic acts that are coming out? Just, I saw this one, I swear, this was the coolest magic act I have seen in a long time. He was on this big old Ferris wheel in Las Vegas. You guys still following me in this adventure? And so this big old Ferris wheel is like as big, if not bigger, than the one that's over in Europe. And it's continuously moving, and you get in, and it's a bigger area that you're in, and it's moving slow enough. What's that?
Where it's got room for like 10 people.
Yeah.
It's like the bar and everything.
Yeah. So this magician, I forget what his name is, but he borrows like somebody's coat or somebody's scarf, and he's talking to these people. And he's doing some little magic tricks. He goes, "Watch this," and he has this long coat that the guy holds up, and he says, count to 10 and then drop it. And so, like, they're in this enclosed area. I mean, it's like you're able to stand, and I think there's an area that you serve you a soda or a beer or wine if you're old enough for that. And that's what you choose. But excuse me. So he's in this enclosed area, and he says, hold this up and count to 10. So the guy, 1, 2, 3, he gets to 10, and he drops it, and the magician's gone. And it's in an enclosed area. Now, what I thought was amazing is, okay, he's, someplace in the cart. No, he's like all the way outside, like 100 yards away, waving to him. I can't. I'm like, ooh.
Twins. Yeah,
Twins, exactly.
One
Twins?
hides behind another twin. Twins. One hides away in the cart, the other one's 100 feet away. Yeah.
Oh. Okay, I like it. I'm with you. Now, hang on though. That could be when there was one other part. He took like this lady's like purple scarf, and he was holding it out there. So the guy out there. So if it was twins, they got lucky. He had the same color. I don't
No,
know.
that was a plant. Yeah.
A plant. Jerks.
Speaking as someone who has a stepdad who's an ex-magician.
He said they're planting stuff. Darn it! I want the real magic to take place.
Great, the magic.
I wanted real magic. I want real magic.
Oh.
All right. We just did the 4x to the third plus 8x squared, yes?
Oh, my God.
All right, Sophia, coming to you. Sophia, you ready? All right. Let's break 12 down. What does 12 break down to? 3 and 4? Which is? 3 times 2 times 2. Here we go. All right. 12 is 3 times 2 times 2. Okay? Karen, x to the third breaks down to what? There you go. X times x times x. Plus. That plus has to come along for the right. All right. Tristan, let's break 8 down. What does 8 break down to in its most smallest forms? 2 times 2 times 2 is correct. Good. 2 times 2 times 2. And then x squared breaks down to what, Reese?
Just x squared.
X squared.
Oh,
So
no,
break it.
my bad. It's
X times x.
Oh yeah.
X squared is x. And then Ray, break down 6 for me. What does that break down to? 2 times 3.
Is that a minus?
I got an X right there. There's supposed to be an X. That's an X.
Why is that green thing?
There's an X right there. It didn't fulfill all our stuff. All right. So, Celine, is there a number that all 3 terms have in common? A 2. So they all have a 3, or all have a 2. All 3 of them have a 2. So I'm going to bring a 2 out. And close parentheses. Okay. Ashley, I have XXX, XX, and X. Do I have anything in common between them? All the X's. Okay, and I also factor an X out. Okay, so I have an X, I have an X, and I have that X. George, if I factored out 2X out of here, I have 32XX. So what would 32XX be if I put it back together? 3 times 2 is? And then XX is? XX? XX. X squared. Plus, George, keeping on going, I have 2, 2, 2, XX, and I factored out a 2 and an X, so I'm left with 2, 2, and an X. So what is 2, 2, and an X? 4X, good. And then the last one, I had a 2, a 3, and an X, and there's a minus sign that we have to bring down. If I factor 2X out of 2, 3, and X, what do I have left? Yeah, and then close parentheses. So again, you factored out, in this case, a number and a letter to get down to the prime components. Okay? Last problem. Are we okay? We good to go? Everyone happy? Okay. Megan, start us out. Let's break 6 down. 6 breaks down to what? 3 times 2. I like it. And now, Megan, what does x to the 4th break down to? X, 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 X. X, 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 X. And then y to the 3rd breaks down to y. Good. And then the minus is going to come along. Andrew, break 12 down. 2 times 2 times 3. Very good. 2. There's a minus there. 2 times 2 times 3. X to the 3rd breaks down to what, Andrew? And then y. I like it. And the plus comes along for the ride. Good job. All right. Gage, break 8 down for me, please.
2 and 4.
And 4 breaks down to?
2 and 2.
So I have 2, 2, and 2. Is that all right?
Yep.
All right. Break x squared down.
That'd be 2x.
Oh, there's 2 x's, so xx.
It's just x.
Okay. And then break y to the 5th down. Y times itself 5 times. Good. I like it. All right. Mac, give me a number I have in common between all 3 sets of terms.
2.
I agree. Do I have a 3 in common on all 3 terms? Anybody? No. Okay. Mackenzie, how many x's do I have in common between all 3 terms? No, just each one. How many x's can I take out of here and here and here? You feel? 2 of them. Good. So I can factor out an x and an x. Okay. Let's see. TJ, how many y's can I factor out of all 3 of those terms? Huh? 3? Okay. So I'm going to bring this up here so I can write 2x squared y to the 3rd parentheses. Okay. Stephen, if I factored a 2 out and an x and an x and a y, what do I have left on this first one? X. How many x's? 2 of them, and I also have a what? 3. So 3xx. 3xx is 3x squared. Sweet. The minus sign's got to come along for the ride. Preston, if I factored out a 2, an x squared, and a y, what do I have left on that second term?
6xy.
6xy. I like it. Okay. Cool. And then that plus needs to come along again. Okay. Bo, if I factored out a 2xx, y, what do I have left? Okay. 4. Any x's? No? Any y's? Yeah, so y is y squared, right? So, when you're working these, not only will you have some to factor out a little bit more with, okay? So, your assignment, should we start the assignment?
Yeah.
No, dude, don't. Let's do this. So, your assignment is going to be worksheet number 4, pages 7 and 8. And let's start at number 10 and start working these out. Huh? You should have your book by now.
I'm getting my book today.
All right, well, write these down then. Yeah. Yeah, let me give it to me in a little bit. And we'll take care of you. Remind me though. Just write these down and then we'll take care of you. All right. Shh. So I'll write these down. Let's see if we can work them out. Okay. That is number 10. Garvey, coming to you. You're on the cards. Garvey, what does it look like I could factor out of both terms? What does 6 break down to? 3 times 2. Shh. What does 18 break down to? 9 and 2. What does 9 break down to? 3 and 3. Okay. Shh. Garvey, what does it look like I have in common between the two terms? 3 and 2. And 3 and 2 is the same thing as? 6. So I have 3 and 2 on both. Shh. What do I have left on this first one? My minus sign comes from the right. What else do I have left? 3. Problem number 10 is done. Christian, coming to you next. We're going to number 12. Still with me on this adventure? Yeah, buddy. All right, number 12. We have 5x squared minus 6. Christian, let's break 5x squared down. Can I break 5 down at all? No? Can I break x squared down? X times x, I like it. And the minus comes along. Can I break 6 down? What is it? 3 times 2. And then what else do I have left up there? X. All right, between the two terms, do I have anything in common? Just an x. If I factor out an x out of this, what do I have left? 5x. The minus, again, comes along to the right. If I factor an x out of this, what do I have left? Which is? Yep, good. Done. Like it. Good job, Christian. Casey, coming to you for number 14. Now, guys and girls, these are going along with the ones on the paper, so you have the opportunity to be working them out. Casey, how can I break down 8? 2 times 2 times 2. Cool. And then the x. Break down 12. 2 times 2 times 3. Good. And there's a y with that. Casey, do I have anything in common between the two? The 2's? How many of them? So both of those and both of those, yes? Okay, so 2 times 2 is 4. What do I have left on this first one? And the minus comes along. What do I have left on the second one? 3y. Done. Number 16. Number 16, Gabe, coming to you. Gabe, let's break up 4x squared. How would you break it up? Almost. What is 4 broken down to? 2 times 2. Did you say that? I don't know. I couldn't. 2 times 2 and then an x times x. I like it. Plus, can I break 2x down? Nope. Can I break 10 down? To what? What times what gives me 10? 2 and 5, yeah. 2 and 5. Cool. All right. Shh. All right, so let's take a look. Ben, what do I have in common between the 3 sets?
2.
2 and a 2 and a 2. Do I have an x on all 3? Nope. So a 2 comes out. What do I have left here, Ben?
2.
Second plus. What do I have left here?
2x.
Nope.
X.
Just x. What do I have left on the last one? That's a times, actually. There you go. Okay, so. Can I clear the first 4 problems off?
Wait, do we only do the evens?
Well, that's all I'm doing right now.
So we do
It'll be the whole thing, yeah, eventually. Can I clear these?
No.
And it's being recorded, so take a second, get those written down. You want to take a picture with your camera? Go ahead. You ever want, if you guys don't have your stuff with you, you can take a picture with your camera if you want. I might photobomb it. There was a kid when I was at Chaparral. Gosh, what was his name? Zach Lewis. He was hilarious. So anytime he'd see people like kissing in the hallway, he would be a selfie and they'd be in the background. He used to come to class, he'd be laughing. He'd go, oh yeah, photobombing people. So like he would take a selfie and behind him people would be kissing. That was his thing. I don't know. I thought it was kind of funny. Can I clear it?
He still has all those pictures.
Yeah, a little creepy.
He's hungry.
All over his house.
I love that kid. You always crack me up.
No,
What number am I on? 18?
Robbie, the pictures. Taste.
You guys are thinking about how you can do that as your own now, huh?
We're just doing evens.
For now, yeah. All right. Let's figure these out. Sophia, coming to you on number 18. Let's break down x to the 4th. What does it break down to? Times. X to the 4th is what? Does 3 break down? What does x squared break down to? X times x. What do I have in common between those two that I can break? 2 x's. So x times x is what? No, x times x is x squared. And then what do I have left here? What do I have here? X squared, and the minus comes along. What do I have here? As you said, negative 3. Sweet. Okay. Karen, number 20. What can I break? Does 2 break down? No. And then I have, how many x's do I have? 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Minus, oh, this is kind of a weird one. I guess they didn't multiply the 3 and the 5 together, so 3 doesn't break down and 5 doesn't break down. But how many x's do I have to write out, Karen? And?
Oh, with the other one too?
Yeah.
7.
7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Oh, whew. Okay. Shh. All right. Tristan, do I have a number in common on number 20 between the two I can factor out?
No.
No.
X's.
How many? How many?
A lot.
A lot. So let's go. 1, 2,
I
3.
can't count it very well with my glasses on. I'm sorry.
Squint. I'll tell you there's 5 of them.
Okay.
How, if I were to write x, 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 x is the same thing as what? If I factored out how many x's, how many do I have? X to the 5th. Good. And if all of these factored out except this is still left, what do I put here? 2. And then minus 3. There you go. That's kind of a goofy one. I don't know if maybe there's supposed to be another sign in between the x to the 4th and the 5. I don't know. Good job. Reese, let's break number 22 down. So 10 breaks down to what?
Oh, wait, we're doing number 22?
Uh-huh. Break 10 down.
2 times 5.
Cool, like it. Break x squared down.
XX, and then 3y's.
So y, y, and y. Plus, break 12 down.
Isn't that... Oh my gosh, I was going to do like 3 times 3 times 2.
Almost.
Oh.
It's 3 times 4. What does 4 break down to?
2 times 2 times 3.
There you go. And then x to the 3rd breaks down to?
XXX.
XXX. Y to the 2nd breaks down to?
YY.
Sweet. Good job. Ray, do I have any numbers in common between the two terms up there? 2? How many x's do I have in common? So I have xx, which is x squared. I like it. How many y's do I have in common? So I get y squared. So if I factor that, what number do I have left? Let's see. I have 2, xx, yy. What do I have left there? And 5y plus. And if I factored out a 2 and an x and an x and a y, what do I have left there? Oh, I have 2 y's. I'm sorry. 6x. I love it. Done. Good job. Celine, coming to you. Last one. Save the best for last, huh? Break 14 down for me. 7 and 2. Shh. A is just A, right? Which is BB. Break 21 down for me. 3 times 7. And break A squared down. A, break B to the 3rd down. B, B, and B. I like it. All right. Ashley, do I have any numbers in common on number 24?
7.
The 7s, okay. So I'll bring a 7 out. Do I have any A's in common?
No.
What's the most A's?
1.
I have a single and a single. Okay, that's an A. How many B's can I break out of both?
2.
So BB and BB is B squared. Do you agree? What do I have left if I factored out 7AB squared from the first thing?
14.
I already factored out the 7.
2.
2 plus, what do I have in common here?
3.
And then,
80.
there you go. Done. Cool. All right, so we did most of the evens as far as the bottom portion went. So the rest of this, page 7 and 8. So this is worksheet number 4, pages 7 and 8. I will be checking off tomorrow. Also, Schoology has that quiz online. Take a look at it. Get it done. Because it's going into as a quiz grade. Quiz grade is worth more than your homework grade, okay? So get it in there. Quizzes are worth like 25%. Homework's only worth 20%.
Alright, so I did.
Oh, cool. Yeah, let me see.
I don't remember what